It's so painful. It hurts. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do my first ever installment for my makeup declutter. And today we are going to be decluttering eyeshadow palettes. I love watching eyeshadow declutter videos or just declutter videos in general because it's such a good way to really objectively look at your collection and be like, what do I actually use regularly? What am I never touching? If there's a palette that you have like a shade in it that you're like, oh, I love this shade, but you have that shade in another palette that you're already using. So yes, and I also asked on Facebook if you guys would like to see me do these decluttering videos, and you said yes. So here we have my first declutter video, eyeshadow palette declutter part 1, because I know for a fact there's going to have to be a part 2 because I've got way too many palettes, and that's kind of why we're doing this. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell if you want to see more of these amazing declutter videos, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of reach on top and pick ones that I know for a fact are going to be staying with me, palettes that I would never get rid of. And the first two I have here is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture palette. Absolutely love that one. And the Artist palette. Now, I really love this palette. I love the fact that it has a bunch of neutrals, but it also comes with these really fun colors so that you can, when you're not feeling neutrally, you can just pump that look up with this. Definitely keeping that. Then I've got these two Lorac palettes, the original Unzipped and the Unzipped Gold. I absolutely love these palettes. Dealing with these shimmer shades is like working with a pressed pigment. It is so smooth and amazing and packed with color. And same goes for the gold. I like both of them, but I think I gravitate towards the original one first just because it's more rosy. But keeping them both, absolutely love working with these. Another keeper is my Urban Decay Naked Basics #1. Now, I don't use this too much for an eyeshadow palette simply because it's a little too basic for me. Basic. But I do love the colors here. I obviously don't have any real eyebrows because I shaved them off, but these colors are phenomenal for drawing on your eyebrows. They're absolutely beautiful. They're smooth. They're pigmented. I love the array of colors, and I love setting my brow bone with this shade. So all in one eyebrow palette. Two more that are going to be staying is my Becca Ombre Nudes palette. I absolutely love this palette. I have a pretty significant dip in a bunch of the colors. When I first got this is the main palette that I used for doing my Dolly Dead Eyes because you could make them really big and sink them in. This was just a really phenomenal palette. And then the Becca Afterglow palette. Love this. Absolutely beautiful. I think it's very similar to the one that Jaclyn Hill released with Becca, but I absolutely love this palette. Get a lot of use out of it. Definitely keeping it. All right, let's start getting rid of some things. Right off the bat, I have these L'Oreal La Palette Nude 2 and La Palette Noir. I got these on a whim, which is kind of stupid because they're like friggin' $20 at the drugstore. I'm like, excuse me, $20? And I just don't, you know, they're neutral palettes. This one's a smoky neutral palette, and this one's a kind of, I'm not sure, just no. I have other palettes that I use more than these. The quality is hit or miss, and I just never find myself gravitating towards these for any look at all. So gonna pass on those. Woo! 2 down, 50 million to go. Some more that I'm going to be getting rid of are these two Smashbox palettes, the Full Exposure and the Double Exposure. I bought these when I was just first starting into makeup, and I kind of hadn't formulated my opinion on what kind of makeup I liked, what brands I liked, etc., etc. And these just really missed the mark for me. I mean, they're basically just neutral palettes. That one's really cool tone. And this is the full exposure. And that one's pretty cool tone too. Ooh. 2 cool tone neutral palettes. I have plenty of cool tone neutral palettes that I love and that I use. And these ones just don't. We're gonna pass. We're gonna let them go. Find them a new happy home. Some that I'm keeping, I think I have this Buxom palette that I made myself. You buy the packaging and then you get the shadows individually. I really like Buxom shadows and I haven't used this nearly as much as I should. So I'm probably gonna put this in my everyday makeup drawer and see if I get more use out of it. If not, it is going to leave. The Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, the internet, half of it at least, went super crazy for this, and the other half was like, it's stupid. That's the way it always is. But this palette is so pretty. I haven't gotten a chance to really play with it and use it enough to formulate my own opinion to really decide if I need to keep it or not. I know these are a bit tricky to work with because they're more like glitters than they are eyeshadows, so you have to use a glitter glue or use your finger or wet your brush, yada yada yada. So I need to play around with this. The colors are really pretty. I will play around with it and then see, but for now she is staying. Here I have my Lime Crime Venus palette. This one is definitely staying. I love this palette so much. I remember when I saw it, this was another when I was just starting to get into makeup. I think I paid way too much money for it online and I just absolutely love it though. It really has that like peachy red, you know, modern renaissance and the sweet peach kind of coupled up into one and it had a baby. I love this palette so much. I know we ain't about that Lime Crime life, but I like it. And then on the Lime Crime palette fall, on the Lime Crime train are these fantasy palettes. This was when I was first starting out in makeup as well, and I just kind of had to have these. This is the Aquatine palette. Then we have my personal favorite, the D'Antoinette palette, the China Doll palette, and the Alchemy palette. I really love these. I enjoy using them. They're good quality and I love the colors in them and they photograph really well for Instagram, so I'm gonna keep them. I like them. I don't buy too much from Lime Crime anymore just because bleh, but I really like these. I'm going to be keeping them. 2 little bad boys from Tarina Tarantino, and I don't think she does makeup anymore, but these are absolutely adorable, but adorable doesn't equate whatever. Let's see here. We have the Magical and the Delightful, not delightful to open. They're that, just, you know, neutral, whatever colors, and then I've got, this one is the Magical one, a bit more up my alley, but I never reach for these. A eyeshadow palette that's this small really has to kind of blow me out of the water for me to use it. So these ones are going to go. I have this e.l.f. Prismatic eyeshadow palette in Naked. A lot of YouTubers really raved about these. They said the quality was amazing, but I just don't reach for it. It is really good, but I don't use it. So it's gonna go. I have 3 Sugar Pill palettes here in Heartbreaker, there's that one there, pretty, and Sweetheart, love the pink and the blue in that one, and Burning Heart, and this is actually what I am wearing on my eyes today, the red and the purple. Going to be keeping all of those. I absolutely love Sugar Pill eyeshadows. You would have seen these in my favorite eyeshadow formulas video. Absolutely love these. And then we have the, oh my goodness, these Maybelline palettes. This was just kind of like, you know, the drugstore was releasing palettes and it was like, oh, they're so cool, they're awesome. I need to try everything, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. And I've got the smokes, I've got the brights, I've got the nudes, I've got the blushing nudes, blush nudes, and the rock nudes. And if I'm being 100% completely honest, I have these colors. I mean, they're basically supposed to be, the first ones are supposed to be dupes for the original Naked palettes. And I have the Naked palettes. And if I have those, I don't need a smaller eyeshadow palette that has the exact same colors. So I'm going to pass on these. They are going to go far away from me. Two more that I'm going to be getting rid of are these Wet n Wild ones. Kind of the same thing with the Maybelline ones. I saw them and I was like, oh, drugstore palette. I need to get these and try them and love them. And I never did. This is Coming in Latte. Gonna pass on that one. And Quartz Center. Gonna pass on that one. Whew, feels good. Here I have my Violet Voss Pro in Drenched Metals. I absolutely love this palette. I always pick this palette up when I want a bright pop of color all over my lid. I always reach for this one. Love the formula. Would like to have more Violet Voss in my life. Then I have my Urban Decay Full Spectrum. This palette is pretty good. I really like it. I've used this for a couple different looks. Some of the eyeshadows are a hit or miss, but I feel like consistently overall, most of them are good. So I am going to keep this one just because it's great to have around to really have this bright array of all these fun colors. So that one I'm going to be keeping. Here's a palette from NYX. This is the Go To palette in Bon Voyage. I really like this because it's super easy to travel with. You get your shadows, your bronzer, your blush, and your highlight. So it'll be good to travel with these, and then I won't have to worry about like taking a more expensive palette that I'll be super depressed of if it breaks. So keeping this one. And also I have it in Wanderlust. I really like this one. The quality is also really good. Jeffree Star raved about the highlighters in one of these palettes, but I really like that one, keeping it. Speaking of Jeffree Star, a very recent addition to my collection is the Androgyny palette. And look, I have one where the dominatrix shade isn't broken. I'm so happy. I do like this palette. I've used it a couple times and it is really new to my collection. So I'm going to keep it and continue using that. One eyeshadow palette that will never leave my side is the Kat Von D Metal Matte. I absolutely love this palette. You get such a great array of colors. You get these awesome crushed shadows that just, oh, this palette makes me happy on so many levels. Keeping it, love it. It is never leaving and reaching holy grail status level with the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. So that's pretty cool. All right, I have this Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I absolutely love Bunny. This palette I'm really drawn to the colors. The highlight is a little bit glittery and chunky, and I really don't reach for this one very much. I kind of have a difficult time with Tarte's eyeshadows, but I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't, maybe we will start a maybe pile. Progress. I am going to get rid of this little quad. This is from the brand Black Radiance that I've only been able to find in certain Walmarts, and I got it because it was on sale for $3, and I was like, I need some blue eyeshadow, even though I have blue eyeshadow. So this one is gonna be passed on. I don't use it. I won't use it. Here I have the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. This one was in a Products I Regret Buying video just because the overall quality wasn't necessarily there, and I felt like there weren't enough fun colors. There wasn't a lot of definition changing here, and you get just the pink, the gold, and the blue, and that's it. And I guess that one's kind of fun, but I am going to keep this because it is very good for traveling. It is exceptionally sturdy, and also if I take this with me and it breaks, I'm not hugely attached to it. So if it breaks, then I'm not going to be absolutely horrified if it were one of my other palettes. Another one I'm going to get rid of is this Makeup Revolution Salvation palette in Unicorns Unite. I know for a fact that I bought this just because of the name. I mean, Unicorns Unite, how can you not? I absolutely despise this palette. the quality isn't there. They're not pigmented. I feel that this one was released really before Makeup Revolution started kicking up their game with their products, but this one was a no for me, and I'm going to pass that along. I have the Too Faced Stardust by Vegas Nay. That was the collaboration she did with Too Faced. The palette is absolutely stunning, but I don't use it. It's just neutrals with a gold and a pop of purple, and I just don't reach for it. It's really nice to photograph for Instagram, but there's no point in keeping a palette around just for that. So I'm gonna, maybe pile. Let's pile that on there. I have two more from Sugar Pill that I'm definitely keeping. This is the Sparkle Baby Palette. Absolutely love these colors, keeping that. Then I have the Cold Chemistry palette, more smoky with a really pretty green and purple. An amazing white is absolutely amazing, keeping that. Some drugstore ones that I'm going to be keeping are these CoverGirl True Naked palettes. If you watched my drugstore, best of drugstore favorites, you would have seen this palette. It is phenomenal. If you're looking at something from the drugstore that performs, get this little baby. And so I also have the roses, nudes, and the goldens. I am keeping these because I enjoy the quality. I like using them. And because, once again, traveling, if I don't want to take my expensive makeup, I can pack these puppies in, and for $12, if I really need to, I can replace it if he breaks. Here I have, oh my goodness, the addiction is so real right here. The Urban Decay Vice palettes. I think this is the Vice 5, 12, 15, 2017. I don't know, but it is absolutely beautiful. I love this palette. It is gorgeous. The packaging is to die for. Just this beautiful raised oil slick thing going on. I think this one's the fourth one. I really don't know anymore. I just buy them. That's probably really bad, but love the colors in this one. I really enjoy the Vice palettes. I basically have a heart attack every time they come out because I'm just like, oh, a new Vice palette, gotta have it, gotta have it. This is the Vice Limited. Very pretty. Love these colors. I like the fact that they're starting to, well, you get 3 mattes, but they're also including a bit more neutrals. Love the packaging on this one. Then I have the Vice Limited Reloaded. They're really banking on this whole thing, aren't they? Love this one. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love that color. Actually, these 3 here. That green, that just, yes. I use these. I love them. I don't have a problem with the quality. I love them, so I'm keeping them. Then we have some ones that kind of hurt here. These are the Marc Jacobs Style Icon number 3 palettes. You get 3 eyeshadows in here, and these are disgracefully expensive. They are $39 a piece. That is more than $10 a friggin' eyeshadow. That's a lot of money, especially considering the fact that this one's like teeny tiny. And only this one is like, I mean, that one's basically quarter size, but still. I mean, I don't use these. I love the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow formula, but I don't use them. There isn't, when I'm doing my makeup, there isn't a part of me that in the back of my head is going, oh, remember, you've got those trios that you really need to use. I just don't think about it. And so, oh my goodness, they're expensive, but I don't use, nope. Gonna pass. They're gonna go. Passing those on. And then I have my Pastel Goth by Kat Von D. This was in my April Beauty favorites. Love this palette. This palette is never going anywhere. It's gonna stay with mama. Absolutely love it. I have my Jeffree Star Original Beauty Killer palettes. Palette. Love this palette. The quality is not as good as the Androgyny palette. He really has changed his formula, but I do enjoy using this, especially that hot pink and that blue. The gold and the purple are really nice. That one's okay. That one was kind of a dud because it just, I mean, I guess for setting my eyeshadow, my eye primer, but other than that, not so much. But do like it, enjoy it. The packaging is adorable. Keeping that. And then I have my BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. Absolutely love this thing. I usually don't get along very well with baked eyeshadows, but these are phenomenal. I really want to get my hands on the new version of this, the Supernova. I've heard really good things about it. These shades are my jam. Just absolutely love them. They're super pigmented, easy to work with. Absolutely love this. It's like $14. You can't go wrong. It's really good. Keeping that in my collection. Well, I'm going to have to cut it off there because we are a little bit over 20 minutes and I don't want to totally bore you guys and I don't want a 45-minute long video. So that was the part 1 of my eyeshadow palette declutter. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that jam. Let me know if you have some of these palettes, if you love them, why you've kept them, why you've decluttered them, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you, and as always, keep it real.